Hey guys, so to make this wreath, you're going to need a 12-inch wire wreath, some zip ties, scissors, and two different types of ribbon. I got this ribbon from Walmart. It's about 2 inches wide, 75 feet in length. So that should be plenty for this wire wreath. Okay, so to initiate your wreath, you want to start from the most inner part of your wire wreath. You can start anywhere. You can start by adding a knot or tying it. You can also do both. You can also put like a knot, tie it along the most inner part of the wreath, and then add a zip tie to secure it. So therefore, you know that it's not going to slip out. Okay, so you're going to start by grabbing both of your ribbon tails. You're going to stick your ribbon through that little area. That's the very last wire at the bottom. And then you're going to do a knot. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, now you can just wrap that around your wire wreath ring, or you can just cut the excess part. Now, just to be sure that it's going to be nice and secure, I like to use a zip tie as well. Slide it down. I tend to struggle a little bit with the zip tie, so it takes a little getting used to it. So the type of ribbon that I have, it's a mesh ribbon. It's wired, and it is a little bit harder to work with. It's a lot easier sometimes if you use like a burlap ribbon or a double-sided ribbon. Double-sided just means that the same print that's on the front, it's also on the back. So the red one, it's mesh. So that one, I guess it's considered double-sided. However, with the blue ribbon, it's not. Okay, so now you're going to get both of your ribbons and you're going to start pulling through that first ring where you made the knot. Just, like I was saying, it's a little bit difficult to work with this type of ribbon, but it is doable. You just have to keep fixing your ribbon, fixing the wire that's on the edge of your ribbon. Pull through. I like to pull through about 4 inches of your ribbon. So you can just measure with your fingers, okay? So once you pull through the first little section of ribbon, you're going to pull the second section, which will be your next ring. And then you will do the same for the third section. So it's 3 sections, 3 rings. And as you can see there, you can see the little wire on the edges that it kind of folds in or folds out. Okay, so once you have your 3 little sections, you're going to twist about 3 to 4 times just to secure your ribbon. Okay, you see how I'm twisting? Now that it's twisted, you're gonna get both of your ribbons and you're gonna pull them. You're gonna hold the other ones, make sure that they're nice and secure, and pull them on the first ring. You're gonna pull them through, fix your ribbon, hold it with your fingers. And then you're going to pull through the second one. Fix them, hold them with your fingers, and then you're going to do the third one. And after your third one, you're going to twist to secure it in place again. You're going to repeat this process for the whole ring. Just again. Keep pulling your ribbon. You would probably do about, I would say, depending on how full you want each section of your ring to be, you would probably do about 4 to 5 sessions of ribbon. So right now we're on our third one. So for the purpose of this video, I did do about 5. So with 5, it looks nice and full. It doesn't look, you can't see the wire. It looks pretty nice and full. So I think 5 is perfect if you're using a mesh ribbon. And then another thing to take into consideration is that if you use a mesh ribbon that's like 6 or 10 inches thick, you probably won't need to use as much ribbon as I did. Mine is only 2 inch. I'm sorry, not 2 inches thick, 2 inches wide. I'm using a ribbon that's 2 inches wide. So I do have to use a lot more ribbon versus someone who's using 6 or 10 inches. Although working with mesh ribbon, especially when it's wired, although it can take time, it's a little complicated because you have to keep fixing your ribbon, fixing the little edges of the wire. I think it's really worth it, only because in my opinion, especially right now that we're in the holidays, this looks really, really fancy. This is a ribbon that you can use for any occasion. I'm using mine for Christmas, so I'm actually going to be adding a little ornament. Not sure what type of ornament, but it's going to be a Christmas ornament or either a Christmas sign. But these are also great for like 4th of July. You can also add like a third color if you want to add white, or you can just make it as is, with the red and blue. And then you can add like some little American flags. It will look really, really nice on your front door. So you see me kind of struggling right there. I'm trying to fix the wire. You also want to make sure that, for example, so we know the red one is mesh, so it doesn't matter. But the blue one, since it does have a lot of glitter, I know you probably can't see it, but it does have glitter. So you want to make sure that when you're pulling your ribbon up, that you have the glittery side. You want to make sure that you don't hide the glitter. So that's the main side that you want to show. So this is the last section, or the last part of the ribbon that we're pulling through on this first section. And then, like I said, so you can do either 4 or 5 sections of ribbon. It just depends how full you want it, and then on the type of ribbon. So if you're using a 2-inch ribbon like I am, and it's mesh, you can do 4 to 5 and it will be nice and full. I'm actually doing 5 on this one. I know I said 4, but it's actually 5. I went back and counted. Now I'm twisting. And now I'm gonna cut it and create a knot to secure it in place. You don't have to have zip ties for this. Zip ties are just extra. You can actually do a knot and then just secure like that. Now your zip tie is on. You're ready to cut the excess part of it. And now this will be the second section of your wreath. Again, we start from the very bottom, which is the most inner ring. We create a knot, secure it in place, and we repeat this process all over again. I find this method to be extremely easy, very convenient. It does take a little bit of time, but it's very possible. Now, like I said, I like to use a zip tie as well, just to make sure that my ribbon is nice and secure. Now we're ready to cut the excess part of the zip tie. We're going to fix our ribbons, make sure that the blue is showing the glittery side on top and the red is at the bottom. Now we're going to start pulling a ribbon again. And whenever you create this bubble wreaths, each section that you do, every time you pull your ribbon out, it's never going to be perfect. They're not going to be the same. So you're always going to have some pieces that are a little bit bigger than the others. Some show a little bit more than others, and that's completely fine. You can always adjust it. At the very end, when you're done and you're separating your ribbon, you can kind of pull from the back, pull or tug in. And I mean, it's completely normal. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is something that we're making by hand, and it's supposed to be fun. Alright, so now we're going to twist again. And I am going to fast forward this video a little bit because we are only repeating the same steps all over again. So see you in a bit. So now that we're done with our wreath, now we're gonna start fixing our little bubbles. Um, so you're just going to kind of like eyeball this. There's no right or wrong way. As you can see, they're not even. You can see some pieces of ribbon that are a lot flatter and a lot and longer than the others. A lot of times they get flat because as you're working with your ribbon, you tend to put your arm or your hand on it and it flattens out the ribbon. Sometimes some are a little bit longer than the others. For some reason, when I first start working on my wreath, I tend to make them a little bit longer and then they get shorter as I go. But like I say, there's no right way and no wrong way. The good thing is that since it's a wire wreath, you could always pull or tug them in from the back and, just make them appear shorter. But it's pretty easy to do. So now all you're going to do is that you're going to start, just like what I'm doing right now, you're going to start spreading your ribbon. You're going to pull, it doesn't matter which color you want to do. You're going to pull one to the right. So since we have blue on top and red at the bottom, I like to pull the red one to the right side and the blue one to the left side. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just pulling one to the right, one to the left. So therefore both colors will show. It's going to give it a really nice blend. Some people like to keep it as is. So if you keep it as is, you will see the blue and then with a little bit of red underneath it, which kind of gives it like a kind of a purple color to me. Some people would say blue, but to me, with the red underneath, it kind of looks purple, which is also really cute as well. But since we're in Christmas, I want to see the red. And all I'm doing is just spreading them. As you can see, just spreading. Pulling the red and pulling the blue. I love how this is starting to look. So I'm going to continue to do this process until I finish the entire wreath. And then I will see you guys in a bit. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this a little bit. See you guys in a little bit. So we're finally done with our wreath, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.